Signs. Other emotional signs are lack of motivation, you're feeling isolated and withdrawn, you have serious mood swings and changes in libido. So the behavioral signs are, smoking excessively, drinking excessively, overeating, unhealthy eating, societal withdrawal, you neglect your responsibilities, you have increased use of substances that you're not supposed to use in the first place. So it is important to note that everybody's stress sees differently. I have a different way of expressing my stress, and some other person has a different way of expressing themselves. So you take time to identify how you know that you are stressed. If you're feeling stressed, you can talk to your professional healthcare provider. They can teach you, or they would, direct you on what to do. That's medically, you understand. So now, how do you come in? Let me check my slides. How do you balance your personal life? You know, create a schedule, allocate specific time to, you know, specific things. Like, okay, if you want to socialize, allocate the time for that. If this week you need 2 hours to socialize, put that into your schedule. You prioritize your task, focus on important assignments first, then break larger tasks into smaller pieces. Then avoid procrastination. Oh, procrastination is truly the thief of time. See, I'm going to give my personal experience. So I have this business idea that I've had for 13 years. And when there's any obstacle, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Till 13 years now. And I'm like, I woke up one day, I'm like, why are you running helter skelter? The energy that you've put into other people's dreams, if you had put that energy into your dream, by now it wouldn't be a dream anymore. It will actually be reality. So procrastination is not good. So try not to procrastinate. We are still talking about balancing your schedule. So now, how do you your social life, how do you balance it out? I think you should balance your social activities very well. If you know you want to, you know, take time out with your friends, I think you should do it. It's very important to socialize with your friends, with your relative. There's always time. All this time you have meeting up with friends going to help you ease off your stress. You're going to talk to them about things that maybe you don't want to talk to your partner about or your sister about. Meet your friends, socialize. It's very important to socialize. Another thing is, for students, it's very important to, set your boundaries. If you have your study time, there's time to study, there's time to socialize. You have to set boundaries so that you don't over prioritize one over the other. So as individuals, what are the things that we need to do to help us balance our lives? It's very important to join social clubs. Social clubs are going to help you. You're going to network in social clubs. You're going to build long-lasting relationships. There are a lot of social clubs. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. I don't, you have to join. I have a social club that I belong to. I have a spiritual club that I belong to. I wouldn't call it a spiritual club, but I have the people that I worship with. I do fellowship with them every Thursday. I've done it for the past 8 years, and it makes me feel I belong to some so a group. That feeling that you need to belong. It's not a bad feeling, but it's just good for you. It's part of socializing. You know, you can join a gym. You're going to join a gym is very important. You can join a, football team. It's part of socializing. Just make sure that you belong to, you know, a social group. It's going to help you along. If you do not belong to any group, just make your research, go online, whatever interests you, you can join. You can belong to a food there's so many food people, the food people that love food lovers. It could be beauty, it could be skincare group that would give you tips on the new skincare product. There's so many things to do. I would remind us that in practicing self-care, we have to prioritize our sleep. Make sure that you sleep from 7 to 9 hours. You have quality sleep each night. They wrote in my research is each night, but I believe it should be each day, because it just make sure you sleep very well, because it's going to help you. When you sleep very well, you're relaxed. I'm going to give you an example of children. You see, when you put this when you set a, what's it called, schedule for children. So for children, if you put your children to sleep in time every day, they'll wake up the next day feeling so energized. It is very important. Sleep is very good. Even me myself, if I sleep well, oh, I tend to be very productive, very active. I feel so healthy. But you see, the day that I'm deprived of my sleep, I just have this constant headaches. So it's very important to prioritize sleep. It's very important to exercise regularly. Just as I said earlier, you can join a gym. For me, I take daily walks. It really helps me. You can exercise in the comfort of your home. You can join a gym. You can do it within your area, wherever you're situated. So another thing is to eat healthy. It's very important to eat healthy. When you eat healthy, you just feel so good in your body. You feel so good in your body. Everything works well. You know what I mean. Another thing is mindfulness and relaxation. Practice. You can meditate. Take your time out. Practice deep breathing. You breathe in and you breathe out. It reduces stress. For me, when I'm really, really, I'm going to use myself as examples. I've said it already. When I'm really upset, I just take a deep. I breathe in and breathe out. I do that. Especially with children. When children get on your nerves, you have to you have to learn how to be to reduce your stress. If not, they can drive you really cocos. So now I practice deep breathing when I'm upset. When I sometimes you want to react, but by the time you practice your deep breath and in and out, you see how you feel about the situation. You probably would just be like, okay, whatever. It's very important to practice them breathing techniques in any situation. It's very good. In fact, you can sit down and breathe out. You can do it for like as long as you want to do it. It reduces stress. Another thing is seeking support. Talk to professionals. Discuss however you feel. Talk to your bosses at work if you feel stressed. If you're a student, talk to your professors, talk to your lecturers that this is how I feel. They will listen to you. Another thing is utilize the resources that you have. Take advantages of, this is a tutoring now. Take advantages of this kind of tutoring. There's counseling. There's support. In every area there's support. So, and connect with your peers, share your experience, join clubs, join social clubs, join fellowship, spiritual clubs. There's an activity for everyone. So remember that it is okay to ask for help. Adjust your plans as needed. Find the balance between your personal life, your work life. You have to find the balance, and it's worth it in the long run. So if you need a practical self-care technique, just reach out to me. I have a timetable, I have a template